I'm really glad to hear what the representatives of the bank have just said, that now financing is going mainly to areas, to fields or sectors that used to be in the past considered a bit peculiar. 13 years ago, we have the first Ministry of Environment established, and the first priority about that was green development, and the headlines in the news was nonsense. Making a wordplay with the word green horses in Greece, which is a very funny way to say that he's talking nonsense. So, in order not to forget not forget the mistakes of the past and not repeat them, let's use all these as lessons. I'm really glad that we are all more organized, meaning that the banks currently grant loans using very strict criteria. In the past, they would give loans to every single John and Paul getting into the bank. Now I'm listening about investments in very competitive industries, very future-oriented ones. And despite the fact that there are certainties, short-term uncertainties. Let us not forget that there is a war raging next door, and we have other European citizens facing difficult times. We have also a long-term challenge. I'm talking about the climate change. The ECB representative told us in the morning session something about the first environmental stress test. In the past, we used to say that banks have to go through stress tests. They have to do it. Now we've left that in the past. So it was really glad that I heard the representative saying that we went really well in our first environmental stress test, and there is a long way ahead to move forward, to cover. So I think this is a very optimistic message to be emitted, and this is how I would like to close this panel. We, the Financial Stability Fund, we were the first one to introduce the term sustainable banking, which means banks should incorporate ESG criteria in their operations and their portfolio. So we're really, really glad that we see that taking place. And let us not forget that financial stability and growth is intrinsically linked to environmental protection and social sensitivity. I'd like to thank the economists, the organizers, Mr. Tsafaras, Mrs. Hui, of course, she's talking about you, Mrs. Hui, for the very kind words and the positive message you emit that you are here to support the bank's drive to support the economy themselves.